were the issues that I guess Tully and Arn probably seems to have had the biggest issues, but I guess Flair had some too with Dusty and some of the booking stuff that was going on at that time?
It was awkward for me at times too, because I had a relationship with Dusty that went all the way back to Florida. I was close to him as a professional and close personal friends, and not to the point that I could go into his office and close the door and sit down and be buddy-buddy, but you know, I would go over to his house with my family and with his family, and very close to him and Michelle, watch his boys grow up, and just had a great relationship with Dusty. The frustration was that Dusty, like a lot of baby faces, and the philosophy is at the end of the night, the main event sends the people home happy, and the baby face goes over. And you know, there was a lot of pictures with us all lined up like dodo birds with Dusty with a bionic elbow, bang, 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 and here I pop, pop, oh, bang, and I would get all tangled in the ropes and do what they called the Hully Gully, and we were doing big business, but then it was like, man, if this keeps happening, man, it's going to kill us eventually. You know, you don't want to run something into the ground, and that was the fear, that all of a sudden we would have lost all our heat. And then I'm listening to it in the dressing room every night, and they say, well, you work with him every day, won't you say something to him? And the relationship wasn't like that. And what I could do was, when it kind of intensified, it was reaching a boil over point, I could go to Jimmy Crockett. I had a very good relationship with Jimmy. And it wasn't something where I was buddy-buddy or have dinner over his house, or it was kind of a professional respect thing, because I had started with his father. And I could go, I say, Jimmy, can I, and this didn't happen very often. I said, Jimmy, can I have a couple of minutes with you? Absolutely. Close the door. What's on your mind? And I would tell him, say, this is the situation, and it's reaching a point that you need to be aware of it, and it's something that I think only you can diffuse. And I would explain what happened. I said, Dusty we're doing great business. Dusty's going over every night, and the guys, you know, we're losing, covered in our own blood. Yes, we leave with the belts, but you know, they feel that all of a sudden our heat's going to die, and this is all going to, you know, when we all want it to last, and these guys are fearful that it's Dusty's ego, is what it all came down to. That he's got to go over every night and leave us all laying in our own blood. So Jimmy understood. So what Jimmy would do, Jimmy could go into Dusty's office, close the door, and Jimmy was a very smart man. Great relationship with Dusty. He could say things I couldn't as the owner of the company or the head of the company. And I don't even know what he said, but he understood Dusty and knew how to communicate with him. And then that same night, which used to be the case before they got so big, Jimmy had a personal relationship with him and Myra and Rick and his wife, and they would have Rick go over the house and have dinner with him. Jimmy calls Rick, why don't you come over and have dinner with Myra and I? The next day, Rick, oh God, Jimmy called me and I went over, we had dinner together, and I had a chance to talk to him, and oh man, I feel so good, everything's going to be okay. And then that would kind of smooth things over between whatever he privately said with Dusty. It wouldn't be a radical thing that you could say, ooh, something happened that day, it's different today, but it would be more subtle, but it would diffuse the situation. And I think Jimmy reassuring Rick in the locker room would have a trickle-down effect with the other guys, because Rick was the champion. But then, you know, 6 months, 9 months, we'd be back in the same place, and that same cycle. Jimmy, I need to talk to you again. And oh man, they're blue. And he understood. He would, Rick, go over and have dinner, and you can go talk to Dusty. And so solved the problem.